Hey everyone, welcome back to Tokamash TV. Today, we're going over the viral Amanda Seales video, one black radical versus 20 conservatives. Let's get into it. Subscribe and hit that like button. Let's go.
My name's Matt Nuclear.
Hello, Matt Nuclear?
Matt Nuclear, yes.
Matt Nuclear, give me a better handshake on that. Let's do it. All right.
Ooh, shots fired already.
Appreciate having this conversation with you.
She just sunned him.
Black woman like yourself. This is nice, beautiful arena here. I just agree that reparations are necessary. I think the most important thing that's necessary right now for the black community would be the stopping of violence, especially black on black violence. I don't see how reparations are going to solve anything. You can give everyone here like a $50,000 job.
We do need to stop the black on black violence, but that's besides the point of reparations.
Especially people that are in the streets who are committing violent crimes consistently. A $50,000 check, it's not going to fix anything. It's not going to increase the median household income in the next 10 years by 10% to 20%. For example, we have the...
Okay, so he has a point. He's trying to equate it with basically saying that give them the money, and with the violence, what's the point? Because they're not going to do anything with the money. They're just going to use the money to basically cause more violence. Is that what he's trying to say?
Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882. We prevented Chinese people from getting citizenship and even entering the country. We discriminated against them and basically put them under apartheid, even here in the United States. Yet they have the highest median household income. How is that possible? How come they don't complain and feel entitled consistently to beg for reparations and beg for this when they are killing each other 90% of the time, which is the rate that black people kill each other, according to the FBI?
Oh, yeah.
That's very true.
Matt.
Yet white people are the oppressors.
I'm not sure where your education came from, but they lied to you.
Stats don't lie, though.
Statistics lie all the time. So let's start there, particularly when this is...
Okay, being that she said that, she better not ever refer to a statistic ever again.
Statistics are coming from the sources that gain from the statistics being shown a different way. So if you're going to start your argument on stats don't lie, you've already lost the argument. They lie all the time. One, comparing Chinese people who are immigrants that made a choice to come to the United States and comparing the continued effort of black people to ground themselves in a nation that continues to make impediments for them to show and live and exist in their true citizenship is a false equivalency.
I don't believe that happens at all. What?
All right, that's she has a good point right there.
No one here is in.
Are you acting right now? Do you really believe
I'm telling
this?
the truth. There's no systemic racism that I've experienced here in America.
Well, I don't know what he's talking about. He maybe not have been born in America. I almost bet he wasn't born in America.
What system is racist? I think the only racism we've actually seen recently, systemic racism we've seen, is the application of systemic racism against white people. The University of Western Washington, for example, has been trying to segregate dormitories, using black-only dormitories because black people feel safer amongst each other. But they're more likely to kill each other than white people are ever to kill them.
Well, I wouldn't want that if I was a black person over there. Who wants to be in an all-black dormitory? You might think that's going to make you feel comfortable, but guaranteed, rules are going to get broken non-stop. It's going to become a party house. It's going to be complete mayhem over there. The cleanliness is probably going to go out of control. It's going to get dirty, messy. It's going to be non-maintained. They better keep it as is, because at least rules will be implemented and followed a lot more.
It's just the truth. You have King Von rapping about killing other black men. Why should I think that the white man is the oppressor when black men are more likely to kill me?
Oh my God, this is scary. You need to think about me as your mama.
Black men are more likely to unalive me. That's very true.
Do not talk to me in that fashion. So let's check that now. Okay? So, on the...
Wow, she checked him again. Yeah, she's making sure he know his place.
Basic level, we have to understand that systemic racism is grounded in the realities that black people have not been considered an equal human being in this country since its onset. So there's simply no way to make the argument that there isn't systemic racism, and we have seen in very clear ways the system operate in an organically racist way. Do not cut me off. When we talk about...
You better not cut her off. She slapped... What? Don't do what?
Systemic racism, we can start with even the fact that redlining, which was implemented to discriminate black communities. Are you shaking your head that redlining doesn't exist?
No, I'm saying I don't think it really existed at all. I mean, no, I don't.
Now, redlining most definitely exists. Look at that. They just posted the fact right there. Redlining is a practice of denying mortgages to those who lived in neighborhoods considered risky. Lenders targeted black and immigrant communities in urban areas. The practice was outlawed in 1968. Now, that wasn't too long ago.
It's not at all.
So it does exist, And stating that it doesn't exist doesn't make it no longer exist. Redlining absolutely exists. It is not something that's being made up. It's an empirical fact.
So she has a point.
And there are realities that exist because of redlining. We know that school systems are related to the way that property taxes are affecting the school systems. If a school system is not getting the same property value as the property taxes allow it, then it's not going to have the same efficacy at allowing for students to be able to get what they deserve. When we talk about systemic racism, we have to acknowledge that these private prisons are literally built based on the test scores of school students in 3rd grade. So if you are literally...
Whoa, that's false, not true, misinformation. See, that's what I don't like. Just to prove a point, she just made up and exaggerated something. Because, look, matter of fact, look at that. Sand fact check. While there's a direct correction between literacy and education levels and incarceration rates, the claim that prison planners use that data to decide where to build has been debunked. So, no.
Building prisons with the onset of, okay, if these people are not reaching a certain reading level, then we know that they're going to go down a prison industrial pipeline, or we can use their free labor. Then how is that not systemic? And if you want to
stop them from entering prisons,
how are you going to stop people from entering prisons if your goal is to get them into prison?
Sure, make them try to be more like Ben Carson than be like King Von. That's very, very simple.
So how does King Von happen? How does King Von happen?
King Von happens because of the music.
King Von.
Reparation.
It's black culture. Black culture is trash. No lie.
In the plane. We're talking about reparations and what.
The worst things about black culture is promoted to the top, unfortunately.
You're doing is actually just trying to get this conversation off the facts. And the fact is, reparations are just and necessary because on a basic level, black people built this country and the country continues to thrive off of the labor that black people put into this country. And it would behoove you, young man, to really understand the way that your ancestors put blood, sweat, and tears into this nation that is still living off of those blood, sweat, and tears. And let me also add, there are reparations and then there is remunerations. Do you know the difference?
I don't think his ancestors put blood, sweat, and tears into this nation. Yeah.
Yes, but can I finish one
point
that I wanted to say? Ben Carson's cousins were killed at a very young.
I'm so sorry. You've been voted out by the majority. Okay. Please return to your seat.
I hope some of y'all are acting. I really do. We in LA, and I hope some people in here are acting.
Oh, she's turning it up.
Oh, what's that on your chain?
This is corn from Israel.
Lord have mercy.
Yes, you got it.
Ooh, shots fired already. Here we go.
Oh.
That's a choice that you are making for yourself.
Yes. The thing with the whole reparations thing, and I don't know, we're probably close to the same age, so maybe you can't call me.
How old are you?
I'm 32.
I'm 44.
Oh, really? Oh, you look young.
Oh, thank you. That's what water and keeping stress out of your life will do.
Really? Mm-hmm. Liberal positions are real stressful.
By the way, I wouldn't know. I'm not a liberal. Carry on.
Well, it's a liberal position because conservatives believe in hard work. We believe in going to work and working for what you got.
Yep.
Not
very true.
Asking for handouts
from
people who never had slaves. Some of the people that you're asking for money from never had slaves. And let's talk about the fact there were also black people that had slaves. So if you want to talk about that.
Wow, so that's most definitely a fact. You can't ask for money from people who really wasn't responsible for you being enslaved. Because technically you wasn't enslaved, your ancestors was. And their ancestors, some of them had absolutely nothing to do with enslaving you to begin with. And then, to add to that, you have black slave owners who had slaves themselves. So what are you going to do? Collect reparations from black people? No, that's not going to work. That's never going to work.
How is that fair? If I'm a white person and my family fall on the side of the Union, why should I have to pay for slaves when this whole country was never all racist? Some of the founding fathers were abolitionists, and they hated slavery, and they actually put things in the Declaration of Independence and things too because they believed that there'll be a future where there would be.
That is very true.
A black president one day, or that there would be people in leadership that were black. There was people in the North who helped with the Underground Railroad and fought with the Union. So why is that fair for?
Oh, hold up, he cooking right now. She ain't got nothing to say. She a little bit speechless.
people who never had slaves, who fought against slavery, to have to pay for people that had slaves?
One, from my understanding, you are more interested in preserving the fairness of those who didn't have slaves than the fairness of those who are the descendants of slaves. That is priority to you than finding a fair way to accommodate those who have been the descendant of slaves.
Well, our ancestors wasn't asking for handouts; they were asking.
Not really, exactly. That's basically what he was leading to. No handouts.
They were asking for equal opportunity.
Equal opportunity. There we go.
And we have equal opportunity in this country. We had a black president, just in case you didn't know. We had a black president and we had a black vice president. I mean, I think she was black. They said she was black. I
don't know. Nah, she was not black. That lady was Indian. I don't care what anyone says. She was Indian.
So we had a black president, and you know who voted for that black man? White people. Because you can't
Facts.
win a popular election in this country without white people. So Barack Obama is the product of white people. So let's get off this thing where, oh, America is so racist. What's making America so racist is people that continue to talk about racism.
That is very true. Because if people keep bringing up racism, America is going to just obviously be racist. And if every situation someone brings up their race, it's going to be, okay, I have to use my race to combat whatever you're saying against your race, and everybody just becomes racist.
And continue to focus on racism instead of focusing on unity and bringing our country forward. People that have this liberal mindset are infecting our communities, black people, and making us victims and not victors. I refuse to embrace a victim mentality because that's not what our grandparents and Harriet Tubman and those people fought for. They fought for equal opportunity.
Do not bring up Harriet Tubman's name in vain, baby, please.
They said the Lord's name in vain. The Lord's name.
Harriet Tubman was literally saving her family and others from slavery.
Yeah.
She was saving them from slavery, but she had assistance.
You know who helped her? White people.
You know
Exactly.
who helped her?
They were on the Underground Railroad.
No. You know who helped her?
Come on in.
No, you know who helped her?
God and
People who benefit from white supremacy. One of the things
it's a lie. White supremacy is a lie.
Well, technically she's right, but had them people been caught, they would have been killed. So it would have been no benefit.
No, sir, that's simply not true. If that were not the case, then we wouldn't see the continued effort of colonialism and white people placing themselves in positions of power.
You know why they're in position of power? Because their culture. Black culture is toxic. The black culture is toxic. We have produced a...
Exactly what I said. Black culture itself is toxic. The worst of the worst is promoted. Academics is not looked at as a high or esteemed thing in the black community, unfortunately. They like to promote the gangsters, the scammers, the hustlers, and the athletes. Academic people are typically teased, bullied, and picked on the entire time they're in school until they grow up and leave that community.
Culture that is toxic. And let's get on the fact that there's no fathers in the black house. Let's talk about that.
None of this is gonna work if y'all are just gonna sit here and make up shit. It's not gonna work. No, it's a debate. You have to be in facts.
You're putting off emotional liberalism.
I am not putting off emotional liberalism. You're putting off unfounded lies based in concern.
No, ma'am. So far, the only person that have lied was you. She's projecting.
Misinformation. Remember they did the misinformation thing all summer where everything conservative did. They said
misinformation. You're carrying a chain around your neck of an apartheid nation that actively wants to harm black people and non-Jewish people.
Ooh, she's taking personal shots now.
But let me bring it back. Let me bring it back.
Black people in Africa,
that was not happening in the context that you're saying.
And they were selling their own people. Black people still sell their own people today too.
I don't know if I'm gonna last.
We're selling our own people.
I don't know if I'm gonna last.
You're not gonna last with me.
Yo, he's ready. He's ready. She was not ready. She wasn't ready for someone like him to come up before. The other guy, he wasn't ready yet. She had him sunned. But he's actually speaking up for himself and has his points, and she can't really combat anything. So she literally starts to insult him.
I won't, because your ignorance is so overwhelming. See,
that's liberal. Y'all start name calling.
No, it's not name calling. You won't have an argument because
exactly.
You keep cutting me off.
Oh, well, that's fine. They don't let me go. I made my point.
You didn't make your point.
I made my point.
You haven't made your point. And let me just tell you about your point. You started off saying, we believe in hard work. Yeah. And we believe in being compensated.
Reparations is not
All right. I give her that. He is cutting her off, let her finish her thought.
It's not hard work. It's stealing. It's Robin Hood.
You said you believe in hard work.
Yes.
And you believe in being compensated for hard work.
Yes.
Were slaves compensated for their work?
They weren't compensated for their work. But why should people who are sitting at home playing video games, smoking marijuana,
Are you sitting at home playing a video
Exactly.
games? Are you sitting at home playing a video game?
The people that they wanted
Am I sitting at home
reparations
playing a video game? No.
The
And
people
I
that
don't know
want
what
reparations
I don't know
for-
who these people are that you're talking about, because the majority of the black community is not sitting at home playing video games.
majority of the black
Where are you
community
getting
is doing a lot
that
of
statistic?
things.
Where are you
A lot
getting
of
that
things is
statistic?
not right.
Pause. You've been voted.
All right. That ends that one. Well, reparations is a crazy topic in of itself. Listen, she couldn't really speak for herself that much. She really started to lead on more to the insults towards the end because he was cooking her. He had good points and she couldn't really retort anything. So, yeah, reparations. It's hard to trace to decide who gets what at the end of the day when it comes to reparations. There's no way to really trace anyone's lineage back. Who gets what? Which family was here first? Who was actually slaves? Is the Caribbean slaves count? Do the ones who came imported after count? Do the ones? It's hard to actually prove and trace anything back to anywhere. So, yeah.